Hey, what's up? This is Joshua, daily video blog. This is the mistake series. This is episode 3. It is a gorgeous day in Minneapolis, even though it's February. It should be terrible, and I'm assuming global warming is encroaching on everything. But, oh well. Let's see. Today's video, again, I wrestle with what to talk about because, I have no shortage of things that you should not do that I did do that like I don't even have like awesome mistakes like I don't know, drunken adventure mistakes that wind up in prison. I just have like dumb mistakes to where you have less leverage than you'd like to have as you get to be middle-aged or whatever. So let's see, today's video, I think what we'll talk about is the idea of how to put this. All right, here's the thing. I tried to run a graphic design studio from 2000, I'd say 4 or 5 through to, well, really earlier this year. No, not earlier this year. Late last year, I think, is when I finally decided that this disastrous experiment had to end. And when I say tried to run one, like I did run one, I just ran it poorly and I ran it into the ground. The only thing that I managed to get good at was making work and certain insights about that work. Otherwise, I mostly blew it for that period of time. Oh, hold on, it's gonna be icy here. 1 second. Here's a nice pretty river. Here, let's get another beautiful shot of this lovely Mississippi. And some ducks. All right, back in action. So I ran the studio for that period of time, and I was just terrible at it. I'm super introverted, so I was really bad at getting clients. And let's actually couple that with 2 things. I'm introverted and I am insecure. The insecure part is going away, but the introversion part is a daily operation. So basically, I'm the last person in the world that should have been finding clients for me to be doing work. On top of that, because I'm very impulsive and easily bored and like a total ADD case, I was also just really bad at this sort of like regular maintenance of running a business. And sorry, I'm walking across ice here. So all of this just comes down to, like, I spent a decade or so attempting to run a business and just doing a god-awful job. And I probably knew by 2008 or 9 that I wasn't built for the thing I was trying to do, but there was no alternative to me that looked attractive. And at the point that I still didn't have kids, I didn't have a certain like gravity about the decisions that I was making. So I just kind of kept along doing it. Now, right now I'm happily employed full-time, and then I teach a little bit. I teach 2 nights a week, so I don't have a ton of free time for any other kind of thing besides my job and teaching. And I still do stuff like podcast and make these videos and whatnot, and I'll continue to do that. But I've come to this point where like there's a new project that I want to do that's related to all this other stuff that I do. And I've decided that if I'm going to do that, I have to set a threshold of, because it's going to cost a little bit of money, how much money am I willing to lose to test this idea out? So like if it's just an abject failure, how much money am I willing to lose? And then how much money do I need to make to declare it a successful test and move forward? So my old mindset probably would have been like, I don't care, I'm gonna spend the money because it's fun. But I can't really do that anymore. Or I could, but it would just be, at this point I've learned my lesson on dumb shit like that with no real ROI besides my personal gratification. And then um, what would be the other thought? The other aspect of that would then be like, what does it need to do beyond breaking even to be considered worth my time? And that was a set of considerations that I never applied to running a studio. I was willing to just blow money indefinitely trying to run a studio, not make enough money, not manage that money closely enough, and not pay attention to the opportunity cost of continuing to run a studio even when it's costing me dearly, let's say. So the big sort of new view I have of things is that to set these sort of thresholds, and if I had set those sort of thresholds when I was first running the studio, hopefully it wouldn't have been a 10-year mistake. Hopefully I would have set a time frame of, if I'm not making this much money by this point, bounce. If I lose this amount of money before then, bounce. And just to set these parameters and restrictions. And would that have been hard or depressing? Yeah, definitely. It would have been a huge bummer. But on the other hand, not as much of a bummer as dealing with the residual fallout of running that project as long as it went, and the opportunity costs that came along with that, the things that were turned down or put off while trying to make that happen. So this is the thing I'll sort of throw out there. If you're going into something and it's going to cost serious resources, serious money, serious time, it requires you to say no to other things, it's gonna ask a lot of you. I would never say don't do it, but I would say, set thresholds for what is worth it, so that, because eventually it just got too painful and I did have to quit. The whole thing was costing too much, and it was getting in the way of other things I wanted to do, other projects, other just forms of productive activity or non-productive activity, as the case may be. It's nice to have my weekends for me again. So if you're going to go into something that demands all these resources, set thresholds of how much of those resources are you willing to expend. And it's one thing to break even and be like, oh, I'm breaking even, but how much do you need to actually make or get back in order to determine that it's that it's worth doing? And let's see. I think that's the video for today. Hopefully this is helpful. Leave a question or comment if you have one. I'd love to hear from you. All right, thanks for watching.